Thomas Lemar to Arsenal. So lads, with only 7 days left of the transfer window, Arsenal have still not signed a single player. Great work done, Raul. Despite that, the reports linking Arsenal to players remained consistent, and weirdly enough, Arsenal seem to be linked with more attackers, which makes absolutely zero sense considering the standards of our defending. But hey, I'm not the one who decides these reports. So with that being said guys, today we will discuss a player that currently plays for Atletico Madrid, and he is also a French international, having won the World Cup in 2018 with them. He's also a player that Arsenal have previously tried to get and have failed, and that player that we will discuss today is Thomas Lemar, who has been linked with a £40 million transfer to Arsenal, with reports claiming that Atletico Madrid are ready to cash in on the Frenchman. So with that being said guys, let's discuss the potential transfer of Thomas Lemar to the mighty Arsenal. Sign some players! Bruv, this transfer window thing is actually so weird. One day the media claim that we are actually broke and we have no money. The next day we're getting linked with £40 million transfers. You man need to make your mind up, bruv. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Basil and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with a brand new video, and today we will discuss the potential transfer of Thomas Lemar, ex-Arsenal target and obviously current Arsenal target, to Arsenal. Lemar has been linked with a £40 million switch to Arsenal, and Arsenal apparently are looking at this deal, and this apparently could be on. At this moment Arsenal, anything will do. Anything I mean. Bentner, Shamak, it's time to come home lads. So with that being said guys, before we get into the video itself, make sure to go down there, smash a like on it. As always, I do ask for 100 likes, so if you man can smash that like target out of the park, your boy would appreciate it. Of course, if you are new to the channel as well, make sure to go down and subscribe. I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers and we are getting this slowly but surely, so if you can subscribe to the channel, your boy would appreciate it as well. And also, as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you be happy if Arsenal were to sign Lemar? Is he the player that Arsenal need? And even are Arsenal going to get him? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah lads, let's just get into this then. French playmaker Thomas Lemar has been linked with a £40 million switch to the mighty Arsenal. So lads, with that being said, let's discuss a transfer that hopefully happens. I've had enough of talking about transfers that Arsenal not do. Sign some players! Firstly lads, let's start off with who exactly is Thomas Lemar. Thomas Lemar currently plays for Atletico Madrid, and he joined them in 2018 from Monaco for a fee of 60 million euros. Lemar is also a French international. In fact, he actually won the World Cup with France in 2018. He didn't actually manage to play a lot because of course France have got a very decent team. Regardless to say though lads, man has a World Cup medal in the bag. So that means he can join the company of elite World Cup winners at Arsenal. I'm talking about you, Squadron Mustafi. Lemar of course, as a player, his position is mainly deployed as a left midfielder, but of course he's versatile and he can play in many different roles as well. In terms of Lemar's age, the man is 24 years old and he turns 25 later on this year, and if we're able to link that back to Arsenal, 24 years old for me, signing a player that age is perfect for Arsenal. He's a medium term signing that will fix current problems and also fix future problems as well, but we will get more into that later. In terms of the history of Thomas Lemar, this is very interesting lads. Thomas Lemar of course, as I've said before lads, left Monaco in 2018. Prior to leaving Monaco, he spent 3 years there and 3 very decent seasons there as well. In fact lads, in the 16-17 season, Thomas Lemar even won the league title, and that Monaco team of course was full of some top players including the likes of Bernardo Silva, Benjamin Mendy and Kylian Mbappe. Now in terms of the season itself, once the season ended and Monaco won the title, a lot of those big players left. Of course Mendy and Silva both chose Man City, and Mbappe of course ended up at PSG despite being linked on a move to Arsenal. Imagine the scenes lads, Martinelli and Mbappe, we would have had Messi and Ronaldo both at Arsenal, but alas lads, it didn't happen. But in terms of Lemar as well, he was also a player who was linked with a move away from that summer, and funny enough lads, Arsenal actually made a £92 million bid on the final day of that summer window. Lemar was a player that Arsenal scouted and talked about all window and were in talks with as well, and it came to the final day of the window, and Alexis Sanchez of course is a player whose contract was running down and also looking to move him on, and the deal had been agreed with Man City to sell Alexis, and it all depended on Thomas Lemar and if he would come to Arsenal and agree the deal to sign for Arsenal. And Arsenal even made a £92 million bid lads. If we had signed Lemar, he'd still be our current transfer record. Everything seemed to be agreed with Monaco, the fee was agreed, and even the personal terms were agreed with Lemar. Everything looked perfect and set for Thomas Lemar to be an Arsenal player. Apparently not though. Everything of course fell into the bin after Lemar at the last minute pulled the plug on the deal, saying that the time was too short for him and there was too much pressure, especially when the man playing in the game for France later on that evening. So what ended up happening lads, the move fell apart, Alexis stayed at Arsenal, and then we let go of Alexis in the January transfer window, and we ended up replacing Alexis with Henrik Mkhitaryan. I mean lads, why do I even support this club? It's a joking. So yeah lads, just end the history lesson Thomas Lemar, who could have been an Arsenal player and who could still be an Arsenal player. Maybe lads, this is the year. Are we going to get Lemar? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. On to the next thing lads, and that is the type of player that Thomas Lemar is. Now as I have said before, Thomas Lemar is a player who can play in many different positions. In terms of his main position that he's deployed by Atletico Madrid, that is of course as the left midfielder. But alas lads, he's also a very flexible player and he can play as attacking midfielder, right midfielder, and even a bit deeper in central midfield when needed to. So of course if we do sign Lemar, he's a man that can play in many many different positions, and that is of course very useful. In terms of the strengths of Thomas Lemar, it's pretty simple really. The man is a good crossover the ball, he's good at dribbling as well, and also a decent player when it comes to taking set pieces. And in terms of his main strengths, of course, that is his passing. He's a very good passer when it comes to key passes, creating chances, and overall, yeah, he's a pretty decent passer, lads. Now, in terms of the players that he could replace at Arsenal if he was to sign for Arsenal, there's many different players he can replace. Now, as I have already said, the man can play in many different positions, and that's of course useful because if he signs for Arsenal, we have a player there that could potentially replace a lot of different players, which of course, again, lads, is pretty decent. Almost too good to be true, if I'm being honest. On to the third thing, lads, and that is why do Arsenal need him? Now, as I've just said, lads, the man can replace a lot of players, and that is one of the main reasons why Arsenal would sign him. In terms of the first player we're going to talk about that Lemar could replace, that is going to be Mesut Ozil. Now, of course, as I've just gone through the strengths of Lemar, you can see the man is a very good passer over the ball. That's his strength, and that of course is one of the key things about Mesut Ozil as well. When it comes to passing, creating chances, you don't get much better than Mesut Ozil. In terms of this season with Mesut Ozil, if I'm being honest, I'm a massive admirer of him, but his time is up. As Claude famously say, it's time to go. Why I say that, of course, is not only the fact that Ozil is declining as a player. He's not the player he was when he was 26. Of course, he's not going to be. As players enter their 30s, of course, they get worse. They're not the same players they were in their prime, and I expected this to be fair. And not only is he on decline, lads, but he's also currently holding £350,000 a week. He's currently our most paid player, and is he right now our best player? I wouldn't say so. It hurts me to say that, but it's the truth. The truth really does hurt. Now, of course, Mesut Ozil under Mikel Arteta does look like a bit of a different player, and he looks a much more improved player. He's working harder off the ball, he's pressing a lot more, and overall he's working harder as a player. And you can see the man is trying to fit into Arteta's system, but being honest, lads, he's not it. Of course, the man is in his 30s now, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing and the players end there, but most players do decline when they enter their 30s. Let's get it straight, lads. And in terms of Ozil, he is not the player he used to be, and in terms of his chances created, that they have declined, and in terms of stats, they don't lie, lads. Mesut Ozil has got the same assist as Skodran Mustafi. So of course, if we were to sign Thomas Lemar as a player, I honestly think he'd be a player that could replace Mesut Ozil, because of course in terms of profile player, Lemar does profile pretty similar to Mesut Ozil, and of course he's also left-footed. Not only can Lemar replace Mesut Ozil, but he's also a player who can potentially replace Dani Ceballos. Now, in terms of Dani Ceballos, the news coming out in the past few days is that Ceballos is looking to terminate his current loan deal, which makes sense. Of course, the man is trying to get into the Spain squad, into the Euros and that, so to get into that Spain squad, Ceballos needs to be playing consistent minutes week in, week out. And at Arsenal under Arteta so far, even though the man's come back from his injury, he's still not playing enough for Arsenal. So of course, for Ceballos, if he does leave, I think Lemar could be a player also that can replace Ceballos. And not only that, lads, for Thomas Lemar, if we decide, could also play in that front three. As I have said, lads, in his main position at Monaco and at Atletico Madrid, the man is a left midfielder / left winger. Now, of course, if you look at Arsenal's current front three, the right hand side seems to be set up by Nicolas Pepe. Down the middle, it seems to be Alex Lacazette, and left winger seems to be Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, I'm not saying that front three can't work, because just look at the name slide, look at the pace lads, that can definitely work. But in terms of Aubameyang and stuff, I always feel like playing him out wide and left, it does waste him. But saying that, lads, though, the man is still won the Golden Boot, majority playing out wide. So is it really holding him back if the man's still winning Golden Boots? Potentially not, lads. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Aubameyang a left winger or is he more a striker? But yeah, in terms of Thomas Lemar, if we decide him, he's a player who could potentially play in that role where Aubameyang plays as a left midfielder. And so I'm going to ask you guys in the comments, if Arsenal are to sign Lemar, who do you think he'll replace and where do you think he'll play? Let me know your thoughts. On to the final thing, lads, and that is he worth £40 million? If I'm being honest, lads, it does seem a bit cheap to me considering Lemar's age, and that is because in terms of age, for me, the man is perfect for Arsenal. He's a player who's about to enter his peak years for me, and Arsenal could do with more medium-term signings. As I have said countless times before, Arsenal seem to sign two different types of players. And one side, you sign players like David Luiz, so towards the end of his career, past his peak, and then Arsenal go out and sign, wonder kids like Gabriel Martinelli and Matteo Guendouzi. It just does not make sense. We do lack players in our squad that are in that mid-age right now of the 25s and 24s, and so in that terms for me, Lemar will be a perfect age if Arsenal to sign him, because not only would he help us right now, he'd also be a player for the future as well. And not only that, lads, but as I have already explained, the man can also replace a lot of players. He can replace Ozil, he can replace Ceballos, he can replace one of the front three as well. So what you're getting in Lemar is a player who can play in many different roles and he's very versatile. In many ways, Thomas Lemar does remind me a bit of his ex-teammate Bernardo Silva. Of course, Arteta has already worked with Bernardo Silva at Man City, and you look at Bernardo Silva, the way he transitioned from a winger to a midfielder, constantly in and out, but wherever he plays, he looks absolutely brilliant. So what I'm saying, lads, is if we sign Lemar, we could be getting the next Bernardo Silva. But yeah, lads, don't take my word for that. I'm just saying that off basis of the fact that he's left-footed and he can play different positions. And also the final thing that I want to talk about is the fact that the man's got great potential. Now, obviously, right now fans are going to come out and say, oh, well, look, have you seen Lemar play at Atletico Madrid? But I think for me, lads, that is not a valid argument. Atletico Madrid for me are a defensive side, and in terms of attacking fielders they never seem to flourish. Go down in the comments and let me know players that Atletico Madrid have signed that are attacking midfielders, those creative midfielders, and they thrive there. Apart from Griezmann, who became more of a striker, they don't have a lot of those players. For me, they are set on workhorses like Koke and workhorses like Saúl Ñíguez. I mean, you can even look at one liquid draw Felix, it signed for £100+ million, and even he struggled. So for me and Thomas Lemar, I'm not going to judge him off his form at Atletico Madrid because he's not suiting him. In fact, for me, his potential comes more for his Monaco days. Look at the numbers he's putting up there, the dribbling numbers, the crossing numbers, the key passes. That is something that I want you guys to focus on more, because in terms of that's where he was at his best. And that's why, lads, for me, I think it's a bit naive to judge Thomas Lemar at his worst, when at his best, he's a very, very good player. So with that being said, guys, to answer the question whether Thomas Lemar is worth £40 million, for me, lads, it's a yes. I mean, think about it, lads. When on earth did Arsenal go out there and sign a player for £92 million? He never did that. Not for like Luis Suarez. So what I'm saying is Thomas Lemar must be very decent in football. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video right there. Of course, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to go down and smash a like on it. 100 likes has always been massively appreciated. Also, if you are new to the channel, make sure to go down and subscribe to the channel as well. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and we are getting there, again, slowly but surely. And as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you take Thomas Lemar at Arsenal? Do you think he's the right signing for Arsenal? And do you think we're even going to get him? And as always, let me know other players you'd like to see me talk about. And yeah, lads, let's just end it there and there. Thomas Lemar to Arsenal is a deal that potentially could happen, apparently, according to reports. For me, lads, if it does happen, I'll be happy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But for now, lads, the only thing I'll be happy with is Don Raul to go out there and sign some players, bro. Go out and do the business, blood. In a bit.